Hey everyone, welcome back to my home today, and I have a couple of questions for you. 3 different questions I'm going to ask you today, and we're going to find out, is your stockpile starting to be a hoarder's stockpile? So stay with me and let's see what I have to say for today. Okay, I want to talk about a hoarder's stockpile. Now, I'm not saying that any of you hoard anything. I'm not pointing the finger at all. This is just something to provoke some thoughts in your own head and for you to think about. It's something I'm needing to think about. A couple of things have happened, and let me read my first question. When is too much too much? And I have had moments of feeling overwhelmed with my stockpile and kind of like when I go in there to look for something, and just my thought process of how do I know if I have enough of this, and what about that, and how much do I spend, and should I be paying more on the bills, or should I be stocking up, and all these questions that are going around in my mind. Well, a couple things have happened to me that in this particular week, well, the last 10 days, that really have stuck out in my mind for me personally to say, when is enough enough? Or when is too much too much? So let me read a comment I actually received last night from a viewer. I'm not going to say her name, and I'm going to leave her age out of it, just for privacy for her. But her comment, I said to her, I have a video that's coming out, I believe, next week that will also pertain to this, but I wanted to reiterate it also in this video today. So she said, the problem with me is I purchase too much for myself, and then I can't eat it all. I'm blank years old, and she's a few years older than me, retired, and I'm not sure if I'm storing my food right, if that even makes sense. And then sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I end up eating a sandwich. I get that. My mother always would say, wait until you get to my age. My mother said the same thing. Her mom is now passed away, and she feels like she's walking in her footsteps. I just thought that was such a great comment, and it really matched my way of thinking lately. So let me read from Google, and you can Google this yourself, signs of a hoarder. Again, I'm not saying any of you are hoarding. I'm not insinuating that, but I want to provoke some thinking. I think one of the things we don't do anymore, a lot of us, is use our brain that God gave us. We are intelligent women. We are intelligent men. We are intelligent human beings. We are the keepers of our home. And we need to use the brain power that is instilled up here. We are intelligent people. I don't need somebody else to tell me what is or isn't right all the time. I can figure these things out for myself, and we'll get back to that thought. So what are signs of a hoarder? Inability to get rid of possessions, extreme stress about throwing items out, anxiety about needing items in the future, uncertainty about where to put things, disgust of others touching your possessions, living in unusable spaces due to the clutter, withdrawing from friends and family. Now, some of that would apply to a stockpile, and some of it I know would not. But a couple of things, in the inability to get rid of possessions, extreme stress about throwing things out, anxiety about needing things in the future, you don't know where to put things, and then also living in maybe a different part of your home because your stockpile is taking over. Now, my first question is, when is too much too much? So let me show you a couple of things. All right, I went and I counted. I did not know toothpaste has an expiration date. Now, we're not getting into Best Buy expiration and all that. That's not the point of this video. But I will say, I didn't know they had an expiration date. Somebody mentioned that on a video, and I went, oh. So I went and counted. Now, I have been given a lot of toothpaste. I told you I'm in a network of food, and we share and whatnot. Well, I am in a process these last few weeks. It'll probably take me about 4 months completely of going through the house once more and decluttering, spring cleaning, decluttering, and reorganizing. Those 3 things. And one of the things is putting like items together. So we have 2 bathrooms. I have a stockpile. I have found that I have things in the stockpile, in the downstairs bathroom closet, in the upstairs bathroom closet. No more. All like items need to be together. Toothpaste. We are a family of 3. How many tubes of toothpaste in a month would we go through? I don't know, maybe 1? 3 people? I mean, you don't use a ton of toothpaste, correct? I counted how many tubes, opened tubes of toothpaste, travel size tubes of toothpaste, and full-on tubes of toothpaste. We have 21 tubes of toothpaste. This one had expired in July of 2021. Now, I don't think toothpaste, it may be not as pungent as it could have been if it was used by the date it should have been used, and I know that. But point being, in a year, let's say 12 months, how many tubes of toothpaste? 12? I have 24, or I have 21. I have almost 2 years worth of toothpaste. When is too much too much? I don't need any more toothpaste. Green beans. I have 20 cans of green beans. If I used 2 a month, I don't even know that I do, but if I use 2 a month, and there's 52 weeks in a year, I only need, say, let's just round it off to 25 cans of green beans for 1 year. I have 20 cans, and the year is, we're going into April, so I've already been into it. I probably have a year's worth of green beans. Do I need any more green beans? Oatmeal. This is 2 pounds, 10 ounces. I have 3 of these. We eat oatmeal maybe twice a month. Will this last me a long time? And I have 3 of them. None of these have I purchased. They were all gifted to me in that Food Network swap that I have. Same with the green beans. I didn't purchase these. I shouldn't say that. I probably did purchase initially a couple of cans, and then I've been gifted them. Last weekend, my mother was gifted probably 40 cans of green beans. Here, take them. You can use them. I said I can't use them. When is too much too much? Hoarder, stockpile. Second half of that title is, but what if? But what if the stores run out of food? But what if? But what if? But what if? I watched a video this morning, and she said, now, not saying yay or nay to any of this, just saying what her video said, that she doesn't believe the news, and she said it's a bunch of rubbish, as she would say, that everything's going to collapse, we're going to run out of food, that the news and the media is a scare tactic, and stop listening to the news is basically what she's saying, and to use your brain. And everything she said pertained to right now where we are currently in what we're hearing. I had to pause the video and look at the date. It's somebody that I'm a subscriber to, and I looked at the date. It was from 2016. 6 years ago, we were saying the same thing. I got to start using my own brain. Signs of a hoarder. We went over that in Google. What are some of the signs of a hoarder? Are you finding yourself that you have too much? Are you holding on to them? Are you, like, every time somebody gives you another can of green bean, for instance, even though you have enough, are you going to take the next 2 cases that come in? But what if? I want you to think. I want you to start using your brain to process when is too much too much. I showed you my toothpaste, I showed you my oatmeal, and I showed you my green beans. I have enough of those items. I have to decide for me and my family, just like that subscriber said, she's older, has bought too much, probably can't use it, is overwhelmed by it. And listen, if your stockpile gets to the point where you're overwhelmed by it and you eat a sandwich, I've done that, or a bowl of cereal, then something's got to change. Number 1, use up what's in your stockpile. Number 2, maybe share some what's in your stockpile. Number 3, take a deep breath, reorganize, regroup, step by step, little by little, and look at what's in there and say, I don't think I'll ever eat that amount of whatever in my lifetime. Why am I keeping it? Bless somebody with it, give it to a food bank, bring it to a neighbor, whatever you need to do. But we need to think through our stockpile. Are you hoarding or are you harvesting? Are you putting up the harvest so that for the next little while you have things and provisions in your home to feed yourself and your family? Or have you gotten to the point where you are just downright hoarding just because the what ifs? I challenge you today to think through your own stockpile, what you're stockpiling, why are you stockpiling it, do you really need it? For one day, stop listening to the news and start listening to yourself and go by your own gut and look and see what you do have. And leave me a comment below, give it a thumbs up, hope you're subscribed, and we'll catch you all on the next video.